now, I came up with 6 nice guy traits that you have to get rid of, out of your mind frame just forever. This is the things that are killing attraction. You're losing a lot of women that had high interest in you because you're doing these things, you know. So without further ado, these are the 6 things you have to get rid of, before the year ends, something you have to work on, even, in a lifetime. Just get rid of it, get it out of your head. So now, the first thing is this: you're doing things for her validation. So what I mean by this is this: you're doing things that bring you out of character, things that you know that you normally don't do. You're going out of your way to impress her. This comes off as very needy. You're trying hard. You're just out of character, and you're trying so hard to validate her. This is something that you never want to do, because she'll appreciate it in that moment, but now she'll start to think, he's just doing this just because he wants something out of me. So this is what you have to work on. Stop doing things that you normally wouldn't do for anybody else. You're going out of your way, getting out of character to impress someone. So it's like you're losing yourself. So that's the first one. The second one is this: you're giving instead of rewarding. What I mean by this is this: say if you're dating someone or you're seeing someone right now, and you're giving her, showering her with a lot of gifts and attention, knowing that she didn't really put in a lot of effort to, deserve these kind of things, she'll know that in the back of her mind, wait, I haven't done anything to deserve this. Now, this guy is not a challenge. He's not a challenge to me. So that's the problem there. If she's not seeing you as a challenge or something to work for, this is something that will make her get bored very, very fast. So do not go all out with gifts, showering her with too much attention, because they like that. But if they feel like it's too early for that, then this is when she's pulling back. This is something that seems strange to her. So now, the third one is this. The third one is making her feel like she's in control of the situation. So what I mean by this is this: say if you're scheduling a date somewhere, right? So you want to go to a specific place and you guys agreed to this. She's on board with the idea of where you want to go. And then last minute, couple hours before the date, she says, hey, I want to go here instead. So this, most of the time, it's a test. She wants to see if you have a backbone, if she's going to hear the word no. We're sticking to the plan. We're going here. We already agreed to go here. So this is what she's looking for in a guy. She wants a guy that has a backbone about himself. He sticks to the plan, sticks to, what he wants to do. He doesn't put her first, right? So that's that point right there. The next one is this: you're apologizing too much. Now, there's nothing wrong with apologizing, but say if she's causing most of the trauma and turmoil in your life, and you're apologizing for that, like saying, oh, I'm sorry, I could have been a better man, I could have done this, I could have done that, she's not going to respect you. Imagine she cheats on you and you apologize for something like that. This is something that turns them off. You're apologizing for every little thing. Okay, apologizing is okay, but sometimes you have to learn how to take that step back and give her her space to figure out her emotions and how she sees that situation. Like a video that I made previously, sometimes you have to ignore them. You have to know how to pull back, give them that space, because it's the space that creates that attraction, right? Like I said, attraction grows in space and dies in proximity. So if you're not able to back off and give her that cold shoulder sometimes, give her a couple hours, couple days of space, this is the reason why she's not going crazy for you, because you're so focused on trying to fix things and try so hard and keeping the relationship going. So that's that point. The next one is this: you fear speaking your mind. A lot of guys, they fear communicating with her or speaking on how they feel, because they think, if I communicate with her and tell her, oh, I don't like what you did here, I don't like what you did at that moment, they'll think that, no, she's gonna leave me if I speak my mind. But if you think about it like this, and this is a true story, this is a true example. When you date someone, nothing is gonna be perfect, right? That imaginary fiction in your mind, thinking that everything is gonna go so perfect, like this, in a straight line, that is not a real connection. A real connection has to be ups and downs. The reason why is this: if someone doesn't communicate with you and tell you, I don't like that you did this, I don't like that you did that, that shows that they're not emotionally invested in you. They don't care, right? So, prime example of this: say if you were dating someone right now, you rub them the wrong way, they communicate with you and tell you that. This is something that tells you that, okay, this person is serious about me. Because if she's able to communicate with you and tell you what you did and vice versa, this is how you build a strong connection, through communication. So this is something that you have to work on. You know, it's a skill. These are skills. So, when you fear speaking your mind, it shows her that you do not have that confidence as a guy to call her on her BS. It shows her that, okay, I have all the power here, because he doesn't speak his mind. Because sometimes they will blatantly do things to test you, test your value. How valuable are you? How do you value yourself? So if you're not able to take that step back and say, hey, no, I feel like this is not going anywhere, you're not appreciating me. Remember, like I said, they realize that they're into you when they're not around you, when you're giving them that emotional roller coaster. You don't have to be quote unquote toxic, right? But the way that they respect you and fall in love with you is by having boundaries. If you don't have boundaries about yourself and you just let everything slide, then they're not gonna respect you. Now, I'm talking about like communication. So, this is a quick story, right? So, I was dealing with someone, and I called them on something that ticked me off. I didn't get upset. I communicated and tell them, hey, I didn't like how you wasted my time. I didn't like how you did this, how you did that. So at first they'll be mad, yes. And then when you take that step back so they could figure out their emotions, then they'll think, okay, I was the wrong one. So this is how you gotta deal with that. They would just text you out of the blue and say, hey, I thought about what you said. You were right. I'm sorry. That's how you get apologies out of them, by taking that step back, putting yourself first. So this is something that you have to work on. Now, the final thing is this. If you're not able to call her on her disrespect, right? If you're the guy that sees past her disrespect, this is something that is very, very bad, because half of the time they know that they're disrespecting you. They're throwing tests. These are shit tests that they throw at you to see how valuable you are. Do you have a backbone as a man? This is how they lose attraction and respect for you. If you're not able to be assertive, you're not able to, take charge. So, if she disrespects you, you don't have to fight fire with fire, but you can tell her straight up, hey, you were disrespectful. I don't think this is going anywhere. I wish you the best. So if you are able to do this now, she'll think, whoa, this person is serious. He has a backbone. If you tell her stuff like, I don't feel like you're treating me right as you should, then this is gonna put her in a state of feeling a loss, right? When she feels that loss, and then you take that step back, she would want to rekindle what you guys once had. It's all about pushing and pulling. Relationships are like tides in the ocean. It's never going in one direction. It goes up, down, forward, and back. So this is something that you have to realize. So this is the point that end us off with. So the reason why most relationships fail is because of overstimulation. And this is what nice guys are really doing. They're overstimulating and they're overcompensating, right? They're not giving any room for any kind of turmoil, which, to inflict a little pain is good. To inflict a little emotional pain is good in a sense, because I'm not talking about blatantly just do it out of the blue. But when it comes up and opportunity arises, take that step back and make them feel that loss. Because when you're too nice and showering them all the time, and there's no sense of showing them a polarized like side, where it's like, okay, he can be nice 1 minute and he can be bad at the next moment. This is how they get bored with you very fast, because it's overstimulated. So you have to be a mix of good and bad, because if you're nice all the time, she'll get bored with that. If you're mean all the time, then that's a bad combination too. You have to be a little bit nice, a little bit mean. And mean, I'm talking about like you don't take disrespect from her or anyone. So it's like, it's not like you're being mean, but it's like you're standing up for yourself. You have a backbone. So it's really that. So these are the things that you're doing that is making them lose attraction, and then they go after someone else. This is all you have to do. I'm telling you, but this is from experience. You always have to keep some form of tactics in your back pocket when dealing with women in this new generation, because most of the time it's very rare that you'll find someone that will waste your time. Now, this is something that I also want to say before I end this video. If you have someone that is actually invested in you, they don't want to waste your time, you don't really have to be quote unquote toxic. Now, what you can do is, if you're feeling like she's disrespecting you, you can communicate and tell her that, hey, you're being disrespectful, or whatever the case may be, however you want to handle it. But the most important thing is communication, right? Communication. And if you feel like she's not appreciating you, then this is when you have to break up with them. Like I said in my previous video, this is an imprint, breaking up with them and taking them back. So this is something that goes to my other point. If you fear losing them, you will always stay in that nice guy mentality, and they know it. So in a sense, you have to have that sense of push and pull. If you feel like it's not going anywhere, you have to break that deal. Remember, you're the employer, she's the employee. If she's not doing her job, it should be a 50-50 thing. If you're doing your part and she's not doing her part, you have to break the deal. So that's basically it for this video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Peace.